Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Um, Today we're going to be reviewing My Hero Academia Chapter 300, the Big 300 that came out Sunday. So yeah, if you haven't already read the chapter, spoiler warning, right here, right here, right here, somewhere here. Um, but yeah, with that being said, let's begin. So this chapter could be broken down into two parts basically. The first part being the rest of the aftermath from the big war 2 days ago, and then now the second part would be the Todoroki family. That's still part of the aftermath, but that is more their issue now with what's going on with Toya still being alive. So let's start from the beginning. So the chapter starts and there seems to be someone narrating, and they're discussing that basically the urban areas in the cities are basically gone to shit because of all the recent prison breaks that happened when they went to break all for one out of jail. Remember, they broke after that, they attacked a lot of other prisons and released prisoners. So basically, they're discussing that more prisoners have started taking control of the city or causing chaos and crimes. They also mentioned Nomus, and we get a reference to when Hawk mentioned Nomus being present, or more so present and appearing back before Endeavor had his first big fight with the High End. He was telling him that. So we get reference to that. I'm basically saying that, the jails being broken into and prisoners let out, the Nomus, all of that has been causing basically things to escalate more and more. And we get a metaphor with with a glass of water basically rising and then it explodes. So he's just basically saying that everything went to shit in a sense. Then we get a panel and we see that there's this gang, or it looks like a little gang, with some criminals that escape causing chaos. And we see that there's a civilian. It looks like a dual disc, but he has like a dual disc on his hand, and he tries to stop the criminal. And we see that it's not just him, but a lot of other citizens have basically started to protect themselves and their cities because they don't want to depend on heroes. They don't trust heroes anymore because of this war and all the casualties and injuries that happen. So these persons are now standing up for themselves, and I mean it's causing more chaos because we see Wash coming to the rescue, and she reaches a bit late, and she's like, these citizens have no training basically in fighting or dealing with criminals and things like that, so it's causing a lot of casualties on both sides. So yeah, then get a next glimpse, we see someone throws a spanner and it hit Wash when she had his head. I think Wash is a girl, right? Or is it a male? Can't remember if we ever saw. I think we did, But anyway, then we see some people come outside and they're like they were caught in the crossfire between the citizens and the bandits basically. And Wash is like she'll wash them clean and get them medical help. So yeah. Next we see this samurai guy, um, the number 9 hero, something Musha. Um, he was really irrelevant to the story basically, because we got him named as one of the top heroes before, and we barely, if ever, saw him do anything in the story. Um, but basically, he's retiring. He said that he made a samurai reference basically, where he would fall on his own sword and retire after all these years and seeing all this chaos now. And some of the citizens start calling him like a coward and useless and a waste and all that in general. But basically, he's the number 9 hero and he retires now. Um, we then get a nice little panel with well, my it's kind of, if you ever saw Man of Steel, I'm sure all of you did. If you ever saw Man of Steel, you remember that there was the big Superman statue after Man of Steel, sorry, in Batman v Superman, there was a big statue, and remember the paralyzed guy, or well, the guy with the missing legs climbed the statue and defaced it and wrote "I am not a god" or something on his chest. We get something like that here now with All Might. We see his statue, and we see "I am not here" is placed over his neck like on a billboard kind of sign hanging from his neck. And we get Stain now narrating, or was it Stain from before? I think it was Stain from before. But we get Hero Killer Stain, which is MVP, one of the best villains so far. I hope we get more of him. We get Stain narrating that basically, for better or worse, the heroes have been put through a sieve, and this means that basically he's saying that the heroes got what they had coming to them, is they deserved it and all of that. Um, and he mentions that everything now falls on one man's shoulder, one man in particular, that is, and that would be the number one hero now, Endeavor. And we cut to the hospital. We see Endeavor. He's out of surgery. His lungs are fine now. He's recovering, and one of the doctors who's seen about him, the nurses, says she believes in him, and Endeavor now, since he's finally awake, um, he's coming to his senses and he starts remembering what took place on the battlefield. And he remembers that, yes, indeed, Davy is Toya. He remembers, what happened and how he mentions that he almost lost his other son now because basically he froze on the battlefield. And circumstances like this led to him almost losing a second son. Um, and he mentions, his son is a mass murderer, but yet he still can't bring himself to fight him. So we now see Shoto, Todoroki. Shoto is Todoroki. But basically, Shoto opens the door and he sees Endeavor crying and he slams the door. And we see Endeavor even with his oxygen mask on yelling, Shoto! And Shoto's like, he's crying. And he's going to turn around, but his sister stops him. And they reopen the door and we see Natsu, I forgot his sister name, and Shoto comes in. And basically, they start talking to Endeavor, and Endeavor is like, he's sorry for everything. He's sorry about Darby. He didn't realize until now, and he just keeps apologizing. And he mentions that his heart, something basically it's probably his heart broken. And then his wife appears, and she's like, your heart is what? And she's with one of the flowers. Cause remember, he sends her her favorite flower every so often. She's with one of them in it, one of those flowers in her hand. Basically she's like, what's wrong with your heart? And he asks like, what you doing here? And she's like, well, I'm here to talk about you and our son. And the chapter ends right there. So basically, I think this is the end of that arc. We're probably going to get more info as to like more in-depth detail and info, I guess, on Toya now. So we probably have like a mini flashback, I would assume, and maybe like what exactly his power. Well, we know his power is cremation or hellfire or something to that effect, but maybe we will get a more detailed explanation as to why it burns him, or if it's a mixture between his mother's power and his dad's, like the community was theorizing that maybe it's the nitrogen from from her power boosting his flames or whatever it may be. So I guess and we might get something like that, an explanation, and then we would see I would actually want to see more of we know he has a lot of burns, so I want to see like, oh, I hope they show like how he accumulated all these burns over the years, because we know they found a jaw on the ground. Most likely it was a no moose jaw when he disappeared and he was burned to ash. So maybe we get some scenes of him younger training, and then we see how he disappeared, who actually took him in. I'm guessing it maybe was Stain, but I would like to see more of that, and then I would love to see how all these burns started forming on him. Like, How did he get the ones under his eyes, or his jaw hair, his whole lower jaw, or the ones on his skin, like his arms and his back? That would be interesting. So yeah, this was a heavy chapter because it dealt with more emotional things. But all in all, it was good. I enjoyed it. We have no break next week, so that's good. So the next chapter should be dropping on Valentine's Day. So for the single people, at least you have something to look forward to. But yeah, so I hope everyone enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like, hit the thumbs up button. Um, if you're in any anime groups or you know anybody who like anime, um, please share it with them. Whether it be One Piece, My Hero, or Black Clover, I do reviews on the tree, so share it with them. Subscribe. We're close to 100 subs, so please hit sub. Um, so yeah, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and until the next time, I'll see you guys.